Alicia Andrews, the girlfriend of the killer of Foolio, has been revealing dark secrets that no one ever knew about, and they have been released in court. And the nature of the information proves that these revelations could potentially put some people behind bars for a long time. Alicia's statements about her boyfriend and the horrible things she did suggest that getting a girlfriend involved in a murder is a very risky business. Needless to say, Foolio's killers are probably regretting getting her tangled in this mess, because police documents have announced that she has decided to come clean about her crimes. So, what did she confess about? Did she give names to the officers? Was she really involved in the killing? And if she was, what would happen to her now? Stay tuned and watch this video until the end to find out which names Foolio's female killer took and who else she pushed under the bus. As you all know, Alicia Andrew, the girlfriend of rapper Isaiah Chance, who is commonly known as Goudaze, was arrested in connection to Foolio's murder. She is one of the 5 people accused of Foolio's murder, and from what it seems, she started to open up to the cops with her confessions. Police documents said that she successfully identified herself in surveillance footage during interrogation, and it might have been a grave mistake on her part. Now, the prosecution can claim that she was nowhere near her house on the day of the incident and prove that she was right where the incident took place. This proves that she has always been involved in Foolio's killing. Shockingly, the same court documents claim that she also snitched on her boyfriend during the interrogation. Alicia Andrews identified her boyfriend Isaiah Chance as the male driving the suspect vehicle, a silver Cruze, while tracking the victim's movements. She was also present with them in the killing. The group traveled to Tampa in a silver Chevy Cruze and a black Chevy Impala. Isaiah Chance was a documented ATK member. Alicia was with him inside the silver Chevy. The black Impala was registered under Sean Gathwright's mother's name, and reportedly, Gathwright drove it himself. On the night of the unfortunate incident, Foolio visited 2 Tampa nightclubs and announced his presence there on his Instagram account, Teaser's Gentlemen's Club and Troot 18. His killers were tracking his movement, and it was very easy for them to find him. Just before the incident, Chance and Alicia were spotted in a silver Chevy Cruze. They were following Foolio and his peeps, who were partying together. When police checked the surveillance cameras, they found that Chance's location matched exactly the places where Foolio had been. On top of that, Alicia revealed that her boyfriend was using her phone to communicate with other killers in the second vehicle. Surveillance footage at Teaser's Gentlemen's Club showed that Alicia and Chance got out of their car, and Chance was seen using a phone that later proved to belong to Alicia Andrews. The surveillance footage also showed Chance wearing a black hoodie with a distinctive red logo. The investigators used this to identify him during the investigation. Andrews' phone also showed constant communication with Gathwright. They were coordinating moves between the 2 vehicles, the silver Chevy Cruze and the black Chevy Impala. Next, they arrived at the Troot 18 nightclub, where Foolio said he was going next. The surveillance camera caught the perpetrators here as well. Chance and Alicia were caught on surveillance video pulling into the club's back parking lot, further proving that they were the ones who killed Foolio. And after Alicia's interrogation, her confession confirmed their speculation. However, she didn't give up the information so easily. Police records showed that Alicia initially denied knowing anything about the murder, but she was caught lying multiple times during the interrogation. She claimed to have been at Teaser's Gentlemen's Club and Troot 18 nightclub, both of which Foolio went to for a party, but she added that they just wanted to know the cost of entry and did nothing else. As you can tell, it was a blatant lie. Police used the surveillance footage at the front of both clubs to prove that they didn't walk up to the club entrances at all, but stayed at the parking lot. If they wanted to know the cost, why didn't they enter those clubs? After that, Alicia, Chance, and Gathwright tailed Foolio in silence, following his every move. They eventually ended up at the home's 2 suites, and that's where they took his life. Silver Chevy Cruze, driven by Isaiah Chance and Alicia Andrews, made 2 passes by Foolio's parked vehicles before leaving the scene. The black Chevy Impala was driven by Sean Gathwright and carried Rashad Murphy and Davian Murphy. The other car signaled them to go for Foolio and take his life. It was pretty evident that Alicia and Chance were involved in the crime, but when being interrogated, she claimed that she and Chance were at the crime scene because they were lost and using the parking lot to turn around. After the murder, Alicia was caught on the Airbnb Ring camera leaving the apartment. She was wearing the same clothes she had on during Foolio's murder, and this further proved her involvement in this case. Initially, a rumor broke out that Alicia was present at Foolio's party because she was collecting information on behalf of the other criminals. But people didn't have to wait too long. Alicia Andrews was handcuffed and jailed after a series of arrests. The arrest footage led fans to predict her collapse under pressure, and surely that's exactly what happened during the interrogation. She was the only one who linked the suspects to Foolio's murder scene, and her moments in jail were nothing short of wild. However, what the other killers did in jail would shock you. Let's move on to the crazy things the other killers did. Their moves were caught on surveillance cameras, and the details were crystal clear. It gave the suspects zero chances to slip out of the incident. According to sources, the 5 accused made a plan to take Foolio's life, and they created a detailed roadmap sometime between June 21st and 23rd. They made the plan in Jacksonville, Florida. Isaiah Chance and Shan Gathright were caught on camera loading bags full of guns and ammunition. Foolio was a member of the 6 Block Gang, which was a violent rival of the allied gangs ATK and 1200, and this is believed to be one of the reasons behind this heinous crime. This is how the plan unfolded. After following Foolio the whole night, the 5 perpetrators ended up outside the home's 2 suites. Foolio and his peeps were waiting outside the hotel after the staff requested them to stay there. Foolio had failed to check into his room, and the staff was eliminating the glitch.
So we got to the hotel, went in. The rooms was already reserved, but I guess they had like a glitch in the system or something, so they ain't let us get the room. So then he came back out to the car and we was just chilling.
Chance and Alicia were at the hotel's entrance, and they confirmed Foolio's location to the rest of the hitmen. They then attacked Foolio. However, when they were moving into position, they were caught on a Tesla camera. They opened fire on Foolio with a handgun and 2 rifles. Foolio's car sped off immediately after the shots hit his car, but the bullets had already hit him. They shot at Charles, who was a passenger in the car trying to flee. After Foolio's murder, the group returned to an Airbnb with a Ring camera at the front door, which captured the suspects and later made it easy for the investigators to link them to the murder. Isaiah Chance and Shan Gathright were seen celebrating their success with champagne and champagne flutes. Davian Murphy was also captured on the camera carrying a bag in the parking lot. He initially entered the house through the back door, but was eventually caught on the Ring camera when trying to walk out through the front door. The Airbnb owner confirmed that there was a back door with no camera, likely used by the suspects to avoid detection. Isaiah Chance and Shan Gathright were seen passing the Ring camera multiple times, unaware that they were being recorded. Gathright even posted a cryptic message right after the crime, expressing his desire to move on with life and focus on his career. In the post, he wrote, "Now everybody can move on with life and focused, get a job, go back to school, be a full-time parent, 100% full-time college student. The war over with. Entertainment dead." Seriously, did he really think that people wouldn't put 2 and 2 together? Police records also claimed that Rashad Murphy used Gathrights' phone to send 2 disturbing text messages celebrating Foolio's death. One of them said, "I'm coming home. My thirst is quenched. Pop a bottle of Don Julio today, Murphy." The second text message had the same tone and vibe going on. It said, "I'm coming home. My thirst is quenched. I love you, Murphy." It was evident that Rashad and Davian Murphy were cousins, and their involvement in the murder was personal and more than what met the eyes. But what could be the reason, and why was it personal? Well, in August 2018, tensions rose in the stands after a fight broke out among the spectators at the William Marion Raines Senior High School football stadium in Jacksonville, Florida. After the fight, 19-year-old Joe Rod Adams alias Spaz lost his life after a bullet struck him. It's suspected that the bullet came from someone in Foolio's gang. According to reports, Spaz was ejected from the stadium due to his involvement in the fight. As the game ended, the crowd dispersed, and Spaz, along with a 17-year-old boy and a 16-year-old girl, walked along a sidewalk from the stadium to the school entrance. That's exactly when someone shot him. People ran away and took cover, but Spaz was too taken aback to hide. He was shot and killed on the spot. The 17-year-old boy and the 16-year-old girl were also hit and were rushed to a local hospital for their injuries. The worst part about this was that Spaz was Rashad's brother and Davian's cousin, and Foolio often humiliated the dead boy in his songs. His brother simply couldn't take it and waited for the right opportunity for revenge. Just days after the shooting, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office arrested the 16-year-old suspect on charges of murder and attempted murder. His name was Robert Howard, also known as Kenny Caps. He was a member of KTA or 6 Block. Kenny was initially arrested for second-degree murder in the death of Spaz and 2 counts of attempted murder for injuries inflicted on other victims. The case against Kenny became difficult to continue as the prosecution faced significant challenges. Witnesses refused to come forward, and the few that initially gave their statements later recanted. A key witness initially identified Kenny as the shooter later backed off from her statement and was arrested for perjury. Another victim who was shot in the incident initially came forward to help, but recanted his statement later and refused to cooperate. For lack of sufficient evidence, the charges against Kenny were then downgraded, and the state attorney's office amended the charges to manslaughter and aggravated battery. As a result, Spaz's family believed that their brother wasn't getting the proper justice. Kenny pleaded guilty to murder and was sentenced to 5 years, with credit for 3.5 years served in jail. He received 10 years of probation. Foolio took his disrespect to a new level, allegedly going to Spaz's grave and urinating on it. When the news broke out, Rashad and Davion were livid. While murder and vengeance aren't justified, Foolio's actions help us understand why the 2 cousins took such a drastic step. So how were the convicts in the Foolio murder case captured? On June 26th, just 3 days after the murder, Gathright was arrested in a 2004 Gold 4Runner for speeding through the streets of Jacksonville. During the stop, police smelled weed in the car and stopped it. When searching the car, they found a Glock 19 semi-automatic pistol in the vehicle's console. They also found bullets and other weapon parts. They detained him, but then let him go. However, he was once again arrested within the next 24 hours. While in custody, Gathright tried to run away from the interrogation room by climbing out through the ceiling, climbing onto a table and removing tiles from the room ceiling, but his attempts went down the drain. The same day, Isaiah Chance was also arrested. Finally, Chance came out of his hideout. Rashad Murphy's arrest was a dramatic operation following the arrest of the first 3 suspects. SWAT units were deployed to Collins Preserve Apartments, where Murphy had barricaded himself with a gun to his head and refused to cooperate. A tweet from the official account of College Kid said, "Foolio murder suspect Rashad Murphy's apartment is currently surrounded by police. He is allegedly holding himself at gunpoint and refusing to surrender." After a standoff, Murphy finally surrendered just after midnight. After a few rounds in court, the judge is now convinced that they killed Foolio and has refused to grant bail. And there is sufficient evidence now to prove that they are the ones behind this heinous crime. Among the high-voltage drama, another name is making rounds: Youngin Ace. Was it possible that he was also involved in Foolio's murder? But why did his name come up? Well, Ace has reportedly been moving recklessly after Foolio's death, and it is expected that he will also be arrested. And here's what we mean by reckless. Just hours before the murder, he posted a deleted tweet confirming his knowledge of the events in Tampa. Hours after Foolio's death, Ace released a new song titled "Do It," which had lyrics that were clearly directed towards Foolio. The music video, which features men shooting another man in a motel parking lot, further hints at Foolio's death. However, Ace continued disrespecting his dead friend just a week after releasing "Do It." He released another track named "Game Over," where he reportedly self-snitched about being involved in Foolio's killing. The music video features a bottle of Don Julio, which Ace takes a sip off before starting the song. Ace claims to have recorded one of the songs before Foolio's death, stating that it was a long time ago. The song's intro and lyrics both seem spiteful, and even a child can tell that Youngin Ace recorded it to spread hatred for Foolio. We don't know whether this was a coincidence or if Ace was involved in the plot from the start. Currently, only Alicia Andrews is behind bars, and more will be brought to justice once the officers find sufficient evidence against them. Time will tell if more individuals are involved in the plot and where their fates take them. So, what do you think of today's story? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. See you soon with the next story.